I suppose student success, I think, has to be at the heart of higher institutions or higher education institutions. I suppose without it being at the heart of all of what's done, students and teachers wouldn't have a particularly positive experience, I don't think. And by putting it at the heart of everything you do, you kind of ensure that you're going to prepare your students as best you can for not just academics, but also for their future life after education.
By embedding student success in academic institutions, it places students at the forefront. Student success in the university is paramount, and by demonstrating to students that their success at third level is what is most important to universities where they avail of their education, it helps garner a can-do attitude. If students feel encouraged and uplifted, it will reflect in their studies. Student success is at the heart of the goals of the National Forum, and it is the shared responsibility of everyone at higher level education.
I think it's really important to embed these kinds of tools into higher education institutions. Sometimes it's easy to lose sight of why we teach, and having something as well resourced as the toolkit gives a consistency across all higher education institutions, so that they can take a step back, they can understand why it is that they teach, what needs to be changed, what needs to be altered. I think the biggest challenge will probably to ensure that there is a sufficient champion in every higher education institution to make sure that the toolkit is properly evaluated and that there is proper consultation, and that it is properly implemented. So it's an opportunity, I suppose, to put students back into the centre of what we do.
Yeah, so I think that many universities do so much to ensure that student success is at the core of what they do. But for many universities, I think such as the size and scope of them, that it can all feel a bit fragmented for students and staff alike when they're seeking out these resources. So for this reason, I think that resources such as the toolkit allow university staff and students to gain an idea of not only what student success looks like, but also how it can be attained effectively throughout their time in college.
Well, I think it's important for us to acknowledge that student success doesn't just happen. It does require deep reflection on the part of the institutions, recognition of what enables and inhibits success, and honest acknowledgement of what any particular institution is doing well, or maybe where an institution might need to develop. And, it also requires leadership, resources, and that shared whole of institution approach to creating the conditions for success. So I think the toolkit is going to be a really invaluable resource for anyone with an interest in or responsibility for student success, because as well as providing a set of tools and resources for that type of deep reflection, I suppose, and institutional prioritizing, it outlines a process for embedding success. And of course, when we say embedding success, we're talking really about continual enhancement. And this is really important, I think, because all of the higher education institutions have committed to developing a student success strategy. But I guess the risk with those kind of commitments is that you can end up with a bit of a box ticking exercise, or a dust gathering set of aspirations.
Student success should be within reach for all students in higher education. Embedding a resource like the Student Success Toolkit into the framework and operation ensures the broadest possible participation in all the pathways that contribute to student success. In that sense, it is vital for the success of this.
It's important to embed student success in institutions because it essentially puts the student at the heart of how decisions are taken, but not just the student as in the broad sense, every student, and the way in which they see their success, the aspirations that they have, the reasons they come to higher education, the ways in which they want to contribute to society. So I think putting it at the heart of our institutions means that all decision making, all policies, all practices and approaches have the success of students at the heart of it. And I think that's incredibly important for higher education.
I think embedding student success in our institutions will help us to build our capacity to meet students where they are at right now and give every student what they need to get to the next place that they want to go. So it's really a recognition that the goals are different for all students, and successful outcomes may look very different from one student to the next. And in that equation, student success can help us to value what each student and staff member has to offer.
It's important to use this toolkit because it has been developed through consultation with a lot of key stakeholders, including students from across all HEIs. So we are responding directly to the needs of our students. I think this toolkit offers a really good guiding framework and excellent resources for embedding student success because it enables HEIs to take stock of where we are and to consider how we can enable institutional capabilities, culture and practices to ensure our students do indeed succeed.
I think the importance of a toolkit like this is that it serves to help people understand that student success is everyone's responsibility within a university, within an institution. And it helps people understand how they, in their position, can take practical steps to enhance student success. It makes it more concrete in that way. It also helps institutions know how they can engage with the student voice, how they can involve students directly in discussions around policy and practice.